Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with puppet history. Well, today we got how a sheep thief became a royal jester. Huh. So, royal jesters, huh? Don't know much about them, so going into this one blind, definitely. So, let's see how things go from here. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we go. Let's go.
Whoa, welcome one and all to Puppet History. Today, we'll be taking an ever-winding look at yet another chapter in the heavy book we call history, while our guests ruthlessly compete for the coveted capsules and title of History Wizard. I'm your beloved host, the Professor.
Okay. You alright?
Oh, Ryan Bergara.
Oh, there we go.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay, great.
Let's rock and roll.
Special guest, Alex Song-Sha. Are you ready?
I'm here.
Well, that's all that you need to be. Well, then,
Let's crack in. Archibald Armstrong, huh? Okay. Guess we got a name.
Wow, I'm feeling juiced today.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah. Huh?
What'd you
Why?
do behind that curtain?
I had a little Dixie cup full of coffee.
Oh.
Just coffee, huh?
Just like, yeah.
How big is that for him?
Cup.
It's like a big gulp for him.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sends me to the moon and back. Okay, now to begin. Do you think you're funny?
No.
Oh.
Hey,
If I
sometimes.
am, it's all I have.
Oh.
That's a good answer. I'm gonna steal that.
Well, our subject today was funny because he had to be. His job was to entertain and ridicule some of the most powerful people on the planet. Today, we're talking about Archibald Armstrong, the court jester to the Stuart Kings of England.
Oh, so
We're
he's like
kings.
Jeff Ross, the roast master.
I feel like he's more of like a carrot top.
Carrot top, all muscle.
He's huge. Ryan, you're sort of with your little orange beanie over there. You're like the carrot top of puppet history today.
Alex also with the
I'm
orange
the
shorts.
Oh, wait, carrot top and carrot bottom.
Together we make an entire
Oh,
carrot.
yeah.
Okay, now, first for a bit of
First up.
background. The noble adjacent profession of European court jesters is thought to be rooted in comedic actors of ancient Rome, though, like calculus,
Yeah, I can
it
imagine.
appears to have been invented independently in various places. China is credited with the longest and richest history of court clowning, and even
Really?
the indigenous Murungun tribe in Australia knew the antics of jesters. A court jester's
Nazis?
routine was closer to a one-man variety show than stand-up. Dancing, juggling, wordplay, music, straight-up babbling, all was fair game. A jester's job
Basically,
was
as long as they
limited,
entertain the
plain
royals,
and
they're good.
simple. And
Right?
they would do whatever they could to get the boss chuckling, relieving, but for a moment, the heavy weight of the crown.
Nothing wrong with
Now,
that.
one of the best ways to elicit laughter was also the riskiest, poking fun at the monarch's expense. The court fool was essentially the only person outside of the traditional hierarchy that every other subject was, well, subject to.
I can see that.
Ironically, this also meant the jester could be one of the few people in court that a monarch could trust, as they had no ulterior motives for flattery and sugarcoating.
Makes sense.
Of course, a jester's criticism did have its limits.
Oops.
You cut too close to the quick, and best case is you're out of a job, in search of another
Dang it.
monarch, or back to whatever shit shoveling job you came from.
Wait, what would
That
be the
sucks.
jobs before? Like, what would be the way to work your way
Yeah, what's the
up?
ladder?
sure
What's
it's where
the
this
fellow rungs
ladder's
below
going.
that?
Alex, that's a great question, and I'm going to give you a jelly bean right off the bat. Because
Ooh,
that's
good job,
actually
Alex.
The first question of the show.
Speaking of
Pop
which,
quiz time.
ba-da-dum.
What sorts of jobs did jesters typically have before entering court?
Let's see.
A. Shit shovelers. B. Priests. Or C. Soldiers. You guys locked in?
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Okay, Ryan, what do you got?
I put
A,
C,
the shit
I
shovelers.
put soldiers.
Soldiers.
Yeah, makes sense. You experience some trauma, you could turn it into comedy.
Hey, they're the only ones that
Alex,
can
what do you
pretty
got?
much skip
I
the comic
also
books they
put
deal.
sea soldiers.
Oh, Sea Dog. This is
Oh, hey.
Both people put C. It's a Sea Dog time. That's what we do. Our favorite bit.
He wants you to bark.
Load her
like
up
a
on that
seal
one?
is what- that's what he
and-
tries to get people to do.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Sea
the old
dogs.
sea dogs, baby.
Mark, mark, mark. Sort of
Let's
like
do
that.
it. Let's do it.
Oh, wait,
Or-
sorry, I didn't hear it the
or-
first
or-
time.
or-
What is it?
It's okay. I don't know. I'm sure you
I'm
guys
just
will
like,
join in and
okay,
not
I
just
forgot
make
about
me do
this.
Watch, it just goes like
Okay.
this.
Hey, best bit on the show.
Best
Hey.
bit on the show. Well, we're going to find out the answer via the magic of theater. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
All right, bye-bye.
Great.
I think priest would be the funniest answer.
Yeah, there's no way. Right?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
I guess we'll find out
We'll find out.
through the magic of theater.
Oh, there we go.
Harumph. I grow weary of the serious business of governing. I yearn for a court jester. Send in the clowns. I want to pick a new fool.
This ought to be good.
Good day, Your Highness. I am but one of your loyal war makers. All day,
And there's
I dream
soldiers.
of the blood of your enemies washing over my skin like a balm to soothe my battle-tested muscles. Here's a little dance. Choo-cha-choo-choo-choo. Oh,
Boo!
I need them to
Next.
protect my kingdom. Next. Away with you. Go. Okay.
Oh, bye-bye.
Okay, so I guess we were both wrong there.
Next.
Next.
Oh, there's the
blessed
priest.
Day to you, your kingly ship. I am, of course, a priest, interpreting God's holiest and sternest proclamations and delivering them unto you. I
Oh,
have
this ought to be
prepared
good.
A fun little song. Very well.
Song?
On with
Oh
it.
boy, what is it?
Jeez. That's plenty. Jesus
Unfaithful
Christ.
and
Those
tone deaf.
priests, they
Out.
take God too seriously, and they're not funny. Next. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Hello. Is this where I do me little antics and what?
Boop.
Oh, bloody hell! I've stumbled into shit, I have. Hilarious!
There we go.
You there, shit shoveler. You're hired. Welcome to Hollywood.
Over Hollywood.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably the saddest answer now that I think about it.
I was hopeful things had changed more in the hundreds of years, but
Still the same industry.
it's still the same.
Pretty much. Wait for me.
You guys talking resumes out here?
Yeah.
We're talking shop.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your first job in Hollywood, Professor?
I was Tony Shalhoub's assistant on Monk.
That's pretty
Really?
Wow, on camera?
I was on Tony's back like Yoda.
good. Okay.
Okay, well, points to neither of you, unfortunately.
Okay.
As is still the case in entertainment today, shit shoveling was exactly the type of work that jesters did before donning the proverbial red cap. That is, if they weren't straight up criminals. In need of a safe haven from a creditor or someone who wants to kill you? Well, being the personal clown to the most powerful person in the kingdom was a way to make sure your enemies couldn't touch you.
Banana.
No matter what line of work
Imagine
you were
they
in,
just,
court
like,
clowns
get away
came
and just,
from
like,
the common
"Ew."
classes, and were usually the only person from those common classes in said court. Want to know how farmers would be affected by a new law up for consideration? Well, none of those noble advisors have any clue, but that guy with the bells on his toes
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
might. So he was also kind of a sounding board to see how the common folks might react to things.
Oh, sneaky.
I don't know why
Crafty.
I immediately
See?
jumped to
Keep
this.
the bells
but
on, I'm
the king
curious now.
trusts The jester, would they ever kiss?
They might kiss. I bet they kissed.
Would they ever kiss?
Would they
bet they
ever
kissed.
kiss?
Do you think the king would be like, you know what would be funny?
It would be so crazy if we
gave
did
me,
this.
What would be crazy if you gave me a little kiss?
What if we smooched a little bit?
More to spoosh and pooch.
Just wondering.
Do you think you'd be a jester back in the day?
I would love to have like one person in charge of me, but I think also couldn't hack it.
Ryan, do you think you could be a jester?
I don't think it would go that well for me.
Yeah, I
really
can
do think
imagine.
I would push it a little too far.
I consider you my jester,
Oh,
That's
and I've kept you
hard to
on
say.
for 7 seasons now.
I'm getting the
is that,
dynamic
is that a
little
compliment? I don't
better.
think that's a compliment.
It's not a compliment, it's just fact.
Nice. I guess what I'm nervous about if I were to take over after you is that I would fall in love with the monarch,
Yeah.
whoever they are,
Sure.
and
I
I
guess
wouldn't
depends
care
on the
about
monarch.
the jokes anymore.
So you seem to really want to smooch this monarch.
Yeah,
You just
root
want to
for
smooch
some
the king,
romance.
don't
I
you?
have authority issues.
Yeah, that does sound about right. Well, I don't know if I hack it as a court jester, but I'd definitely be more of a voice of reason on the court. I don't know. And also, though, do they actually go out, get people's opinion, just go out there, just be like, all right, people just don't like it. I don't know. I'm curious how they come up with the routines. I'm curious now. Well, anyway, moving along.
Okay, enough about smooching. Yum, yum, yum.
Oh? What the hell is that?
Well, hello there. Who are you?
Hi there, Professor. You can call me the Bear.
Wait,
The
are
bear?
you like one of those?
Where you from?
Are you a song puppet or?
I don't understand the question. I'm a real living bear.
You have other puppets?
I'm the Bear. I live in Burbank, California, as a working commercial actor.
More like Bearbank, California.
Right.
Wolf.
Well, in any case, today's sponsor and I come bearing gifts. I think it's time you swap your jelly beans with a gummy in the shape of me.
A bear gummy?
Tell me more.
All right, what do you got? Oh,
Grooms are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into 8 gummies a day. This isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a prebiotic. It's all of those things and then some at a fraction of the price. And bonus, it tastes great.
Wow, this is yummy and healthy.
You know it.
yummy and healthy.
8
Cool
gummies
job.
are included within each daily snack pack because you can't fit the amount of nutrients they do into just one gummy. Generic multivitamins only contain around 7 to 9 vitamins.
Makes
Grooves
sense.
has 20 plus vitamins and minerals and 60 plus whole food ingredients.
Jeez, that's almost hundreds.
Jam-packed! And the ingredients are
Oh.
full of benefits for your gut health, immunity, cognition, and energy.
green gummies.
Did I mention it also contains biotin and niacinamide, which result in thicker hair and nails? I mean, can you imagine how shiny your blue fur could possibly be?
Well, who could resist
sounds
smooching
interesting.
me then?
Not me!
Oh, you cheeky little bear. Get up to 52% off. Just click the link in the description. Hey, the bear, where are you off to now?
Wouldn't you like to know? Bye.
All right, bye, Mr. Bear.
Oh, well,
Odd
that
day.
was one good-looking bear. Anyway, back to the show.
Right, back to
where were we?
jesters.
Ah, yes. Now, along with the ability to weigh in on state affairs and move up from the worst jobs yet invented, if you were a good enough jester, you might even go down in history. Take Richard Tarleton, for instance. In theatrical history, he's considered the inventor of the stage yokel. And William Shakespeare himself
yokel,
is said to have been so inspired by Tarleton
Oh,
that
bye.
both Bottom in A Midsummer Night's Dream and Yorick, the skull in Hamlet, were based on him. Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are the
Sort
odds?
of the
Thank
carrot
you,
top of his
Tarleton.
day, I guess.
It's weird when you find out people from history were really jacked.
I don't know that, to be clear, I don't know that he was actually
Oh, okay,
jacked.
because I know Houdini was
imagine?
super jacked. One of his things was you could punch me as hard as you can in my stomach because my abs
Oh,
are so
right,
strong.
yeah,
And
Houdini.
he did that
Just
one
like
day. It was the last thing he ever did. He died like 4 hours later.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
appendicitis.
I'd like you now
Oops.
to punch me in the stomach as hard as you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a test?
Do it.
Oh, you
sure about
want me to
this?
punch you in the stomach?
Yeah. It's not a question, it's an order.
Fuck is. I'm so sorry,
There
Alex.
is
This
a
is
lot
day
of
today.
tension
this is
between
really.
the two
This
of
is
you.
incredibly strange. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, you and I would be like, are you still what are you doing?
Do you mind if I lock and load my arms like Henry Cavill?
Do it. Do whatever you gotta
Oh
do.
my god.
Oh,
That was some good form.
you good,
Thank
Professor?
you. I stubbed my toe on that chest there.
Oh,
You need a minute?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm stronger than I've ever been.
That's what Houdini said.
we have 4 hours.
You do have 4 hours before you bleed out in a hotel room.
That's a good jester. In Germany, one of the most famous court jesters was Klaus Narr, who served
Narr?
professionally as a jester for 5 different bosses between 1475 and 1525. Like most jesters, Narr, which is German
Narr.
for fool and Australian for no, came to the job suddenly and surprisingly. Per legend, a German elector named Ernst was passing through Klaus's hometown of Ronstadt in a large caravan of horses and
there he is.
carriages.
Come here.
Klaus, a young boy at the time, was worried that in the commotion of the passing caravan, his geese would be lost or stolen. Klaus started scooping up as many geese as he could, and when he couldn't hold any more, he pulled goose heads through his belt so he could carry more, bodies dangling by his side. Ernst thought the boy with his goose noose was hilarious. So he went to Klaus's dad and told him
hey,
his
Papa
son
Klaus.
was a born jester
Papa
and asked
Narr.
permission to traffic Klaus to his court. Klaus's father replied, quote, "That would be great, sir. I'd be relieved of a great encumbrance thereby. The youth is no good to me. He makes
Ouch.
nothing but trouble in my house and stirs up the whole village with his pranks." For his trouble, Ernst paid Klaus's father 20 guilders.
Wonder how much
Now,
that is.
while your
paid, buddy.
Klaus Narr types were generally hilarious, some jesters mastered specific tricks. For instance, one jester, Roland, had a very particular set of skills.
Oh, no. Oh.
Oh, ho, ho.
This would be
What
good.
was Roland's special skill? A. Juggling. B. Farting. Or C. International diplomacy.
Or D, annoying the hell out of me. My
You only
roommate's name is
above.
Roland.
Oh.
He's still my friend,
Got
though.
an axe? Well, it doesn't sound like it.
I love a joke where the setup comes after.
Yeah. Brian's good at those.
Yeah, just
Okay. I'm not confident about this one. I'm gonna put juggle.
and
Alex, what'd you
Barton.
put?
I put juggling.
I don't know, it just
'cause
sounds like
I
easier.
thought maybe B farting, that was just regular back then. That wasn't funny.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll
we're
see.
going to find out via the magic of theater once more. Wow, what an exciting episode. There's so much going on. This is
Oh, bye.
crazy.
Also tough to do that on demand.
Yeah, no
So I
kidding.
do remember at a sleepover there was a kid who could do that. And I just remembered his name. His
Do
name was
what?
Chris.
Juggling?
He did it, he told me, by sucking in the air through his butthole and then just projecting it back outwards.
That actually does make sense,
Yeah.
but it horrifying
Sam's like,
to
what the
hear.
fuck?
The only way the problem with it was that in order to reload the air, he had to be head down, butt up. So that's his,
Because that's where the air is.
he described,
What are
he
you
described
talking
it as
about?
the air floating down.
Hey, oh, hey, for
Am I
moving.
interrupting?
No, no.
I love
I'm
it. Yeah,
talking about my
sorry.
good
Go
friend
ahead.
Chris.
Moving on.
And now, ladies and germs, for our Christmas pageant's grand finale. I know we've all been waiting, so without further ado, I present Roland!
All right, there's rolling.
Okay, Rolly, this is it. The big show. Time to
See
give the
anything in his
royal
hands.
court what they want. A dignified way to keep the Christ in Christmas. Here goes nothing.
Really?
Whoa, he's done it, folks!
Really?
Another terrific show from the world-renowned jester. You know him and love him. Let's hear it for Roland the Farter!
That's his
Thank
actual
you all.
name.
I do it for my love of the game.
Whoa, Roland the King is so appreciative of your artistic genius that he's giving you 100 acres of land and a manor house in Suffolk.
Really?
Thank you.
Suffix?
And to any little boys out shoveling shit or pulling goosenecks through their belt, I'm the proof. Anything is possible.
Wow.
Wow.
Sounds
Hey,
like Chris
call-
had it right. I had to stand on my head.
Farts are funny.
Load air into my ass. And have 100 acres of land. I'd take that deal.
I feel like this is how it feels to hear about, like, oh, old school sitcom writers, like,
Yeah, yeah.
made so much money.
Grown Ups 3 made $1 billion? What the hell?
Yeah.
What do you learn?
I,
Hi, dude.
Points to neither of you.
Yes. Though he went by many names, Roland the Farter was just that. A farter. Yeah. And he
Roland,
was
let's
so
search.
good at it, it made him a landowner.
Suck it?
It kind of
think
makes you
that's
wonder.
how you-
Oh,
Oh,
another
hello.
question. What would your jester name be? I'm looking for something that highlights a talent that you have that's entertaining. And I'll tell you what, I'll give a jelly bean to the best answer.
I got it. I got it locked in. You really got to get those spiders out of
So
there,
many
man.
spiders up here. All right, what do you got?
Okay,
I
go
put
ahead.
the Bergigler.
The Bergigler. Okay, that's a
Did you
good
just
one. That's a
giggle
good one.
lot?
No, because I make people giggle, but
Bergigler.
I also giggle a lot.
that's
Because
nice.
I walk out on stage and I go,
I don't like that.
what if I make it a little lower?
I like it a little better. I put
What?
Alex the surprisingly sad
Aw.
and a little smiley.
But then a smiley, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it
just
is.
so you know not to worry.
So what would your routine be exactly? You just sort of walk
My
out.
routine, I'd be like, hey, here's a joke, and also, why are we alive?
Oh boy.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give points
That's
to both
surprisingly
of you.
sad.
We'll give 1 jelly bean to
Oh, one for
Ryan,
you
2
and
jelly
2 for you.
beans to Alex.
Wow.
Sense. Okay.
All right.
And now, of course, my name would be Professor the Professor. My
Oh,
talent
boy.
is professing my love of history. But we're not here to talk about Professor the Professor, Klaus Narr, Ryan the Bergigler, Alex the Surprisingly Sad, or even Roland the Farter. No, the driver of this clown car is none other than Archibald Armstrong. We're finally
Right.
getting
but
it.
Yeah.
totally
Finally.
forgot
I was
about
wondering
it.
when we were
Got
going to
so
get to
caught
one.
up by Roland the Farter.
By the way, this was in the sketch, but we didn't really talk about it. His whole thing was that, and he often did it during their Christmas feast. He would jump, whistle, and then fart.
Like Mario.
So like at the same time,
Playing
just like
Super Mario.
If the sound effects were different. Instead of that bling.
Now, details
Okay, I can
of
see that.
Archibald's early life are pretty muddy, but we know he was born in the late 1500s. A professional sheep stealer, fiercely loyal to his likely native Scotland, somehow Archie made it into the court of King James VI of Scotland. Cool to be a professional sheep
Yeah,
stealer.
how does one go from being a novice sheep stealer to a professional?
Yeah. Does that
The
just
amount
mean
you
that's
steal,
how
I
you make your
think?
living? You don't
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
day job?
I think it's
Could
a
be.
numbers
I don't
game,
know.
you know? You steal one sheep, it's just a weird thing you did, but you do it all
yeah,
day
probably.
long. You're a pro.
You clock in and out.
Well, early in his goofing career, like all jesters, Archie had to find his lane. He wasn't a dancer. He wasn't a singer. Really, he wasn't even that witty of an observer. Few seemed to think he was the funniest thief to don the fool's cap, but everyone seemed to like him well enough. And what Archie really excelled at was getting dunked on. Now, Archie played the role of the buffoon, and the nobility took turns ridiculing him. The king's son, Prince Charles, not the current king, of course, a different guy, had a special knack for bullying the poor fool. He and his friends would try to catch Archie, roll him up in a blanket, and toss him, quote, like a dog.
Like a
For
dog.
his part, it seems this young Archie understood his role and was good-spirited about it, taking a rope-a-dope-like approach and letting his tormentors essentially wear themselves out picking on him.
Okay, guys, this is so much fun.
So
I'm
basically,
getting a little bruised, though. Maybe
knock it off. Okay, never mind.
Here we go. One more time.
Well, despite the fact that all his friends and family
with a
loved
rug
tormenting
down the hill.
Archie, King James liked the dude. And at the end of the day, his was the only opinion that mattered. As such, it often fell to Archie to deliver bad news to the king. As bad news from a smiling oaf was just a little easier to take than, say, from a sneering vizier.
Makes sense. Oh, here we go.
What tough news did Archie deliver to King James? A. The French had declared war. B. The peasants were in revolt. Or C. His son was more popular than him. Ryan, are you locked in?
I'm locked in.
Okay, what do you got?
I wrote C, and I wrote the most famous case of a kid being more popular than the father, Robert Downey Jr.
Damn.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alex, what'd you put?
I put A, the French declared war.
Uh-huh. They're always doing that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be a point for Ryan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good for you. Yes, Archie had to tell his boss that actually his son was more popular than the king. Apparently, quote, the knowledge of this bitter truth, as irrefutable as any told to leer by his fool, moved James to tears. Archie joked at it, but the king wept.
Oh.
Damn.
Wow.
Like, you think he told her it was like,
Feels
oh,
that's
come on, no
less
king wants to
urgent
be
news
right,
He
baby.
could keep that to himself.
Maybe it was like a sort of a pep talk, like, hey, be cooler.
Is there a way you can make that into a pep talk?
No.
Probably not,
Now,
yeah.
It's hard to say whether Archie took pleasure in relaying this news about the guy who rolled him up like a taquito and tossed him about. But it seems this indeed caused a rift between the king and the prince. From then on, James was prone to ill humor with Charles, which unsettled Charles and his posse of assholes. In 1603, King James VI of Scotland got a new job. King James the
First of England.
thereby combining the two thrones for the first time. Archie now had a new court to cater to. It was time to see if his local shtick had that four-quadrant appeal.
Nice.
In London, Archie's reputation only grew, as did his bag of tricks. He
Ba-da-ba!
became a master practical joker, specializing in boisterous entertainment. One Sir Anthony Weldon recounted watching Archie riding, quote, on the back of other fools to tilt at another till they fell together by the ears. Now, apart from refining his
a physical
slapstick
comedy
routine,
slapstick.
Archie also improved his wit and wordplay, often at the expense of those who had previously treated him poorly. Sir Nicholas Lestrange recorded an incident when King James was complaining his hunting horse was too lean. Archie suggested the quickest way to fatten up the steed would be to, quote, make him a bishop.
Really sticking it.
Get dunked on, bishops!
Real
Yeah,
knee
pretty
slapper,
much.
Archie.
Oh, not funny enough for you? Well, how about this? We've got a collection of modern jests, witty jeers, pleasant taunts, and merry tales that is attributed to Archie, with almost 200, well, let's call them pieces of content, ranging from full-on stories to not quite one-liners to limericks. Honestly, most are pretty inscrutable 400 years later, but here's one entitled, A Rich Man and a Poor. Quote, one asked this question, what was that the poor man throws away and the rich man puts up in his pocket? Open-ended question here. Come up with a punchline.
Are you just trying to get Alex to write jokes for you so you can use them?
Maybe.
I'm caught in between trying to get it right and like writing something funny.
What was that the poor man throws away and the rich man puts up in his pocket? Okay, Ryan, what do you got?
I just
wrote
put a penny.
dignity. I mean,
Okay.
Oh,
dignity.
no commentary.
How very pithy, Ryan.
yeah.
All right, Alex, what do you got?
I put a bunch of cash.
The biggest laugh there was for Alex, so we're gonna give a jelly bean to Alex.
Yeah.
Ryan, yours was very
Not good.
humorously observed.
It felt like it fit the prompt better.
The actual
There
end of
was
the
it.
joke is, quote, "It was answered when the rich man blows his nose in a handkerchief."
Handkerchief? Really?
I mean,
It's not.
Could you imagine telling a joke on stage and the entire audience not only doesn't laugh, but looks up into the ceiling trying to figure out what you're talking about? Like,
Yeah, I was
I
like,
don't have to
what?
imagine that.
Yeah, that one did not age well.
biting social commentary there. But
what?
believe it or not, that quality of joke was all it took to become the most famous jester in Europe. Archie made his fame work for him, mastering the ability to profit off of the king's favor and his courtly connections. Eventually, he became so beloved and so well compensated that other jesters wrote him letters speaking of their admiration.
wow.
Wow.
Andy, cool.
With Archie's renown growing outside of the kingdom, it makes sense that King James started using his fool for diplomatic purposes. In 1623, that meant going on a secret mission to Spain on what has become known as a historical farce. In the early 17th century, the Protestants and the Catholics of Europe were at war. Actually, there's kind of a funny origin story to that called the Defenestration of Prague, which
Oh,
I
yeah,
someday
the 30
would like
Years
to do
War.
an episode
Oops.
on. Cutting to the chase for our story today, to ease foreign tensions, to consolidate European power, and for straight up money, King James was angling for his son Charles to marry the Princess of Spain. Charles, accompanied by the Duke of Buckingham, went to Spain to
Billiards,
meet
hello?
the princess. Things seem to be going
Hello, Charles.
fine. You know, not love at first sight, but no one's got the ick yet. Charles and the Duke of Buckingham settled down for a long negotiation, and a group of servants and attendants headed to Spain to join their
So
prince.
he's like, oh my god.
Now, King James, meanwhile, didn't trust his son had the riz to seal the deal with the princess. Archie himself made a bold joke about this plan to the king, telling him, quote, "I must change caps with your majesty." Now, that's a good one, right?
That's hilarious.
Gotta change my camera.
That
to
one's
Majesty.
actually funny, right?
Is it?
Wait,
He's like,
Uh-huh.
maybe you should be wearing the clown hat.
Archie said this
I
to
don't
like
know.
the king of Spain?
The fucking king of
That's
England.
great.
England,
Of
England. We're not Spain.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Oh, he's got another one lined up. Now, when the
Oh,
king
this sounded good.
suggested the prince might pull it off and return to England safe, Archie replied, he said, quote, "In that case, I will take my cap from my head and send it to the king of Spain." You get, because then that's more just another hat joke, you know?
Yeah, it's a riot over there.
I got nothing.
This guy's like Andy
a lot of
Kaufman.
hat jokes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'd love to see one of his shows. It'd be so
Everyone's-
painful.
Do you think actually like maybe he was really funny, but we're just hearing it the way the professor is saying?
Wait, no, what?
Yeah, it's possible.
Sorry, as soon as I
Could
started
be.
saying it, I was like, that's
Are you
really
jesting me?
mean.
Are you testing me right now?
Sorry.
That's a jelly bean for Alex.
What? I'm rewarded for that?
Well, yeah, because you told me an unfortunate truth, which is that I'm the one butchering these
No, I
jokes.
just, sorry.
Well, if someone were to do Andy Kaufman, I guess
Game
it would be
recognized
pretty
game.
brutal.
Well,
I'm actually curious about that one. Like, was it actually fun? Or I don't know if it would work nowadays, because frankly, we don't wear the crown or something, but you get the idea. What if courts nowadays still have jesters? I'm just curious. I mean, probably not, but not even sure when it stopped. But I'm curious. You gotta admit, I'm curious, and you gotta be curious too. Anyway, I know about this one, so moving on.
Archie's point was well taken, and against Charles' wishes, King James sent our boy Archie along with the other servants, both to schmooze the Spanish court with his famed levity and to serve as a spy for King James, as he didn't trust his fail son to be giving him the real, you know what I mean? Now this was risky, because King James was literally sending the one guy with no respect for decorum to entertain a group of royals that, you know, didn't speak English. Adding to this, King Philip of Spain reportedly refused to provide Archie with a translator.
Bro.
Yikes. Oh, look at
boy.
that. Hey,
How'd it go?
go in Spain? A,
Oh, boy.
great. The Spanish king loved Archie. B, terrible. The Spanish king hanged Archie.
Oh.
Oh,
Or
Jesus.
C, even worse, the Spanish king hanged Archie and declared war on England. Okay, we're locked in, Brian. What do you got?
How about A, Archie rules? I just
Yeah,
feel
might
like
as
we can't
well.
die. We're too early in
He
the
should
story.
die.
I don't know. I feel like it's
hey,
A.
we're great. And they kissed. The Spanish
Kissed again?
The Spanish
What's
king
with the
and
kissing?
Archie.
Wow, that's gonna be jelly beans for both of you!
Nice. Nice.
Okay, phew.
Yes, despite the language barrier, King Philip of Spain loved Archie. Archie considered himself even better than Philip's own Spanish-speaking fool, and Philip gave Archie gifts, including a pension and fancy clothing. Ooh.
Hey.
A pension?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You do what?
Yo,
Say
go
you got a
Archie.
pension?
You get free money for life.
That's got to be a tough day at the office for that Spanish jester.
Yeah.
Guy comes in and doesn't even speak the
There
language.
you
so
are,
does him.
Archie.
I'd kill him.
For his part,
Archibald.
Archie loved Philip back, naming his son Philip after the Spanish king years later.
Aw,
Well, despite his best efforts, Archie couldn't save Charles' doomed courtship. When it
Yep,
was clear the
and-
engagement was falling apart, Archie and the Duke of Buckingham traded accusations for who was to blame. The Duke tried to silence Archie, who, after all, technically shouldn't have been mouthing off to a duke, by threatening to have him hanged. Archie replied, oh, this is good, quote, "No one has ever heard of a fool being hanged for talking, but many dukes in England have been beheaded for their insolence."
Oh, damn.
Dang.
Bar.
You can't kill me. I'm gonna
Yeah,
kill
I'm pretty
you.
sure you've been hanged for worse. Banned for worse.
Well, when Charles returned to England,
boy.
still a bachelor, it seems everyone involved found their reputation had suffered from the farce, except for Archie. Yeah. News of his diplomacy /
You
foolery
can't
in
deal
Spain
with
actually
me.
increased his reputation. Yes, sir, in the early 1600s, it really seemed like no one could touch Archie. That is, until 1625.
Oh, here we go. What happened?
Happened in 1625. A. The Anglican Church banned tomfoolery. B. Prince Charles became King Charles. Or C. Archie was accused of being a Spanish double agent.
I put A, in the words of the
hit me,
great
B.
Tommy Lee Jones, cannot sanction your buffoonery.
Ooh.
I'm gonna hit with B.
Alex,
One
what
of
do you
there becomes the king.
But B, King Charles happened.
Yeah. With a little frowny face, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
want to see
sounds
a
about
royal
right.
decree with the words tomfoolery.
That
on
would
it.
be funny. Well, that's going to be a point for Alex. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
that.
unfortunately for Archie, in 1625, King James died, passing the crown to that brat who couldn't seal the deal with the Spanish princess and who used to roll Archie up in rugs and throw him around like a dog.
Oh, with the posse of assholes.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yep.
There's a movie.
There is a movie right there,
There's
honestly.
the movie.
They gotta make that movie.
I watched that.
Well, new kings meant new courts, and new courts meant new faces. One face that had an increasing amount of sway with the new monarch was Archbishop
boy.
of Canterbury,
William
Laud. Now, Laud was buddy-buddy with the Duke of Buckingham, the guy who messed things up in Spain and hated Archie even more than Charles. The Archbishop, for his part, was a power-hungry little grubber, using his religious role to attack political figures he didn't agree with. Archie would publicly ridicule the Archbishop, for instance, by getting drunk and calling Laud, quote, a monk, a rogue, and a traitor.
Don't you ever call me a monk.
Or
I would never call you
No,
a
the
monk.
cow
You
called
just
me a
called me your
rogue.
jester about 10 minutes ago, and I'm still recovering from it.
That's just how I think of you.
Is Monk a good thing because you worked for Mr. Monk?
Tony was great. Tony, I have no complaints about Tony that I need to put on public record.
Fair enough.
Another time, while offering grace before dinner, Archie prayed, quote, "Great praise be to God,
and the little laud to the devil."
Oh, what a burn! I think that's just a size joke.
Probably,
'Cause,
yeah.
William
Little
Laud
laud.
was a small fella.
Is he?
Just one time, I want you to tell one of these Archie jokes where you don't have to immediately explain what
It's
the
tough.
fuck you're talking
It's,
about.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very tricky.
Could you imagine a set of all these back to back?
Yeah. Just holding up a microphone in front of a brick wall, being like, now, let me explain.
That's crazy.
Let me explain.
Now Archie had been known to push the bounds of acceptability, but in 1638, he finally took it a step too far with the Archbishop. Laud was trying to impose English ways of worship all the way up in Scotland. While James would have never let this happen, being originally a Scottish king after all, Charles had basically grown up in London and didn't feel any particular allegiance
Oh,
to his
yeah,
father's
and Armstrong
fatherland.
was from
Archie,
Scotland.
however, was Scottish and proud of it, and he dialed up his attacks on Laud. Quote, "One
Ooh.
day, when passing the Archbishop, Archie remarked, quote, "Who's fool
Well,
now?
now.
Doth not your grace hear the news from sniveling about the liturgy?" With other words of reflection.
Is that the end?
Yeah.
I don't think you're selling them right.
Yeah, even I'm like,
Sorry to keep
wow,
blaming you for
just
this,
suck.
Professor.
Well, I'll try it one more time, okay? I'll
You know what it is? I didn't know he was
Don't.
Scottish
Let's
this
just stick with
entire
the story,
time.
please.
Say
Thank
by
you.
Ellen coming on Traitors.
Say it like Shrek.
Shrek.
Yes, feel now. Doth not your grace hear the news from sniveling about the liturgy? With other words of reflection, the end.
I
The
think
end.
that's funnier.
It is a little bit funnier.
I think it is
Archie
Scottish.
had finally crossed the line, and the less sympathetic king had had enough. On March 11th, Laud whined to the king, who in turn ordered that Archie's quote should be carried to the porter's lodge, his coat pulled over his ears, and kicked out of the court, never to enter within the gates. For Archie, this was a humiliating banishment. But the former jester got the last laugh. Archie remained popular among the citizens of Britain, a fact that haunted the archbishop until his beheading in 1645. Yikes!
Oh, damn.
I guess you do get the last laugh if your enemy gets beheaded. Yeah.
Yeah, and Charles would
If
too.
I don't find it funny,
Hey, I
don't
know
laugh.
about that, Charles.
So,
Oh, that one.
who was Archie
Replaced
replaced by?
Oh boy.
A. Muckle John. B. William the Buttonless. Or C. Horrible Frank. You like these, Ryan?
I do, actually.
I don't know.
I'm just going with the one I want to see the most. So,
I'm gonna guess that's.
see Horrible
He
Frank.
does sound good.
John
Sounds
Muckle.
so funny.
Yeah.
I want to see Horrible
Huckle
Frank
Fro-
so bad.
I
Huckle
put
John.
Muckle John. I don't.
Yeah,
are we
Huckle
allowed to
John,
say
I
this?
think
what
so.
does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Can
If
we
it's
get a
the
definition
buttonless,
of
I'll be
Muckle?
surprised.
Okay, then I stand by
Muckle John.
Muckle
He's
John.
basically Huge John. Endless
Yeah, pretty
John.
much.
Well, that's going to be a point for Alex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yes, as much as I'd love to see the act of Horrible Frank,
Wow.
Muckle John is considered to be the last official court fool in England, never gaining the notoriety of his predecessor, himself only working until 1649, when King Charles himself
Oh,
was
bye,
beheaded.
Charles.
And as for Archie, he was never a jester ever again. After all, there's only so many royal courts, and not all of them are hiring. But our guy was no sad clown. He'd made many noble friends, and had received so many gifts and land from courtiers that he was able to live very comfortably for a former sheep stealer. Fittingly, Archibald Armstrong, famed fool to kings, died on April 1st, 1672. April Fool's Day. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny way to die, right?
Was that already April Fool's Day in
I don't know
1672?
if it was then. Maybe they started it then.
It's possible.
Doubt
That
it.
seems more likely.
It'd be cool if they made a little
It's
holiday
still-
when I die.
Don't think so.
Why
We'll
not?
see. We'll see.
Well, you're not important enough.
Ooh, Burglar! Strikes!
Well, let's see if you like this. Now, there's a song that survives Archie that perhaps summarizes his life best. Quote, Archie, by kings and princes graced of late,
jested himself into a fair
estate.
Short song.
Yeah, but it made sense, so that's fun.
Uh-huh.
He was a funny guy, and he
Jested
got a house.
himself into a
Yeah.
fair
Well,
estate.
that's the story of
kinda
Archie.
like
You
that
guys
rhyme.
got any final thoughts about him?
Yeah, I don't know about
points
other
today.
episodes,
Nice.
but this one felt like it had an undercurrent of darkness,
Yeah.
which to me goes hand in hand with comedy.
You guys ever
True.
work for
Comedy
someone who was
tragedy,
eventually
hand in hand.
beheaded?
I can't
I hope
answer
not.
that.
Okay. That concludes our history lesson. I'm gonna go vibe with the tallies to see who ought to take home the coveted capsules and title of History Wizard. In the meantime, enjoy this performance from a rolled up rug containing Archie Armstrong. I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, one of
Goodbye.
Archie's rugs. Okay. Bye-bye!
Oh, God.
Huh.
There he goes.
He made eye contact with me the entirety of it going down, which I didn't appreciate.
The eye contact is
It's
really
fun.
intense.
He's an intense guy.
Oh! Oh! Is he actually in there?
New fella in the court, he's making jokes, he's
Make
making
a joke.
waves, he's splitting sides. Well, we're not sure where he's from, he smells like sheep and he just keeps on cracking wise. And he's been getting pretty chummy with the crowd. And so we're thinking that it's time we took him down a peg or two. Step on up, gather around, cause it's time to kick the shit out of the clown.
Clown.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what we'll do. We're gonna stomp on all his toes. stupid nose. And when all is said and done, we're gonna make sure that he knows. Archie, I know you're having a laugh.
Okay.
But the prince is pissed, he's gonna fumble your ass. Yes, he will.
Well,
So before you lose more blood and get rolled up in more ruts, you might just wanna call it quits and cool it with the fucking quips.
Oh,
probably not.
music break.
Is he gonna go flying again?
Didn't stop, he got a raise. He took a trip across the sea.
Hey.
And the king thought that fool might have him back. Some pretty clutch diplomacy.
Yeah, that was John's
Oh,
fault.
and he showed the world the nature of his art was much more nuanced than a whistle and a fart.
Hey.
He gathered fans in far-off lands, but now the prince is revving up to throw some hands. If you ingratiate yourself, might be a hazard to your health, cause they'll beat you till you're black and blue and sporting countless wealth. It ain't right, it ain't fair, kicked his shins and pulled his hair. That funny chap, he got a slap on his goofy derriere. Made him crawl on his hands and knees, made him bark and beg and plead, like a dog, like a rat, all because he made him laugh. Archie, I know you're
Having a laugh.
Yes, you are. Oh, but that prince
Is this gonna be alright?
And
Before you lose more blood, you be rolled up in more rugs.
you might just
Oh,
wanna
I call it quits.
cool it with the fucking quits.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, the teeth are
The
really
teeth were nervous.
something.
I guess the rug was just stuck with the ball and like, hey,
Oh,
come
God.
Really makes you think about rug munching.
Oh, I'm certainly thinking about it now.
Oh, that's an image. Thank you. It's rightly said. Hey, the doctor, everything go back there? Okay, there we go.
Whoa, what a jovial performance!
Yeah,
Oh,
except
you guys
the
are
rug
never
was
gonna believe
done.
this. After vibing with the scores for a bit,
Let me guess, Alex?
decided that Alex is our history wizard. But isn't everyone a winner when you've got a fresh bottle of piping hot Forget It All in your hand?
That's
Come
right.
get your pills. These are
Okay.
your
Oh,
Okay, I'm a coming,
I
I'm a
got
coming.
yours.
Here we
Forget
go.
it all.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
ask
Thank
for it
you.
by name
Wow.
again and again and again.
okay.
These are
Well,
really good.
Alex, thank you so much for being here. Ryan, thanks for being a pal. And to all you
No problem.
folks at home, thanks for watching Puppet History, where the details
It's
are
always
always
a little fuzzy.
We'll see you next time. Whoa.
Bye-bye. You good?
Coast clear?
I think so. Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, wow, this place is huge.
Come on, stop messing around.
Whoa.
Come on. How's bro? Oh,
It's just right
Oh.
here.
Hey, fellas, great
See
show
you.
today. Say, where you going?
just
Actually,
check out the
Dr.
Boo Boo
Spratt,
place, you know?
As our representative from the Department of Puppet Safety, maybe you should hear this. We're concerned our new brand relationship horse, Elmer, might be up to no good. You might want to steer clear of Forget It All for the time being.
Well, should I not be taking those? I hear they're good for your brain.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Do you have any on you right now?
Look, listen, we all love Forget It All. We love it.
It's great.
I do.
It's really good.
I'd do almost anything for
Yeah.
the pill right now. Anything.
Anything.
But there's something weird going on, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck. I'll tell you what, I'll keep my eyes peeled for Elmer, and if I see anything, I'll let you know.
Oh, thanks, man. What a guy.
Pill does sound.
Really friendly. Yeah, Forget It All sounds tasty right now.
Don't.
Come on.
Huh?
Take that out of your mouth. Put that
Okay, there we go. There we go. We're on. Over here. Oh, watch
Okay,
step.
just
Watch
get quiet.
step.
Oh, yeah, it's a little tall. Sorry. Hold on.
Hey, hang on. Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Why are
Okay.
you so wet?
Ugh.
Ooh, shiny. Do you live here?
No, I don't. You're
No, I
the
don't.
last time I work here.
Okay.
We need look, focus. We need to talk to Shane, but Shane was shot dead in the street like a dog.
Yeah.
So
Rough.
we need this.
Oh, yes, a broken radio.
It's not a broken radio. It's a spirit box.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the old spirit box.
Wow,
Shane,
that's
you there?
annoying. It's
Shane?
very loud and annoying.
Shh.
Shane?
Shane, you hear us?
Shane? Who shot you dead in the street like a dog? Sometimes we have to do this for a few hours before anything happens.
Yeah, it's boring.
Give it a minute.
Just take some patience.
Sure.
Hey, Shane.
Shane, you there?
Big guy?
All right, I think we can move on from this. This thing never works.
Go!
Holy shit.
Shane, you're a... It's a ghost.
Thank you.
Professor, come on. You're a man of letters. You don't buy this ghost bullshit, do you?
We are literally seeing the ghost.
man.
You're really keeping this up?
You're not the
You're a
same.
ghost. You're a ghost. Yo.
Yeah, you're literally a ghost. We
This
can't
is
touch
never
it.
easy. Ryan, look. I believe you believe I'm a ghost. What? I could be a million other things before I'm a ghost. A rubber shoe, pivoting, a walnut, dropping on a roof. Oh, my feet
What?
are gone.
He's insane.
Still pisses me off.
Oh my God.
Hell, like me.
Don't you
He's
remember
a
being
ghost
shot
and
in
he's
the
still
street like
denying
a
it.
cat?
Yeah, for sure.
Give it a thing.
Oh, yes,
Look,
actually,
you just
yes.
tell us what happened.
Hang on. It's coming back to me. Let's take a look. I once had a lassie whose eyes were all glassy.
Oh,
What are you doing here? Time to die, you dog. What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Oh, you fucking puppet.
oh. Oh. Damn. Homer actually did shoot him.
So yeah, I got shot by that horse, and then I don't know. What do you want? Here I am.
Well, like I said, dude, you're a ghost.
Ghost. If you got anything,
Yeah,
let us know.
I'm gonna go with ghosts aren't real, because I haven't seen one with my own eyes, but I promise you, if I ever do, I will admit that you're onto something here.
He'll probably never admit it, I swear.
It is just occurring to me. It was kind of odd. I bumped into Abraham Lincoln in line at Lazy Acres the other day.
No, how'd he look?
Oh, he looked great. He had a big bleeding hole in his head and my brains. But other than that, he looked good. Now that I think of it, I've been bumping into a lot of famous people lately. It's Tinseltown, you know. Kate Warren bumped into Adolf Sachs, inventor of the saxophone. Bumped into the pickleball.
never did. Pickle boys.
So yeah, it's been an exciting week for me.
My man, those are all dead people we've covered on the show.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Okay, well, who are you covering this season?
Oh, who do we got? Franz Liszt, Pythagoras, Shishar Al-Dur.
Oh, Pythagoras, the math guy. I know math, love math. Haven't seen him, so I must be just a totally alive guy who happened to get shot to death by a horse.
Enough! You were shot dead in the street like a mangy mud of a dog by Elmer Walter Williams, and he's gonna do it again unless we stop him.
But how? Wait a minute. Ryan. You know, if our dearly departed Stanley Melvin were here, he would remind us that there's one surefire way to kill a horse.
We drown it in molasses.
We drown it in molasses.
You drown it in
Molasses.
Looks like we're gonna need a big old vat of hot brown goo.
Drowning him in molasses. Yay. I don't know why I'm jumping for that, but then again, consider what Stan, Elmer did. He deserves it. We drowned the horse in molasses. I'm not sure that's going to happen next, but yeah, we'll see. I'm curious. Anywho, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios.